Hello, 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 all of you beautiful nerds from around the world. What is up? It is Josh, and yes, indeed, we have a very important, very special live stream to be doing with you guys. And I want to say right off the bat, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. If you have stayed away from the leaks thus far, I'm going to go ahead and tell you to ignore this video because we got to talk leaks. We got to talk spoilers. I thought, why not, man? Let's do one fan chat live. I know we haven't done a lot of fan chat lives lately, and I will update people about the future of live streams on this channel. But yeah, so spoiler. If you're watching this on the replay, stay away from this. It is spoiler time. But for many of us, you know, we've been on this train for a while, man. We've been on this train for a while. We've known about these leaks for months and months and months right now. I told you guys, you know, leading up to the release of the film, I know there's a lot of people out there that were like, there's no way that the leaks are real, right? There's no way that the leaks are real. How could this happen? It's Star Wars. This is the most security that they've ever had. They have scripts that can't be copied. They have all this stuff. And there was just no way that people thought the leaks could be true. Well, guess what, guys? I told you if this was somehow some kind of a thing that Disney had put on to literally throw us off, which I thought would have been awesome, but next to impossible. I told you if this was not real, if this was misdirection, I was going to shave my head. These beautiful locks. You know what I mean? Let's be real. I don't know. I don't have all of the features going for me. The one thing I had was my hair, and I said, guys, I will literally shave my freaking head. Shave my freaking head if these spoilers ended up being not real. And I got to tell you, they're real. They're real as they can be. I saw some people saying in chat that this stream is offline. Does the stream look okay? Does it sound okay? Please let me know in the comment section if the stream sounds and looks okay. But guess what, baby? I ain't shaving nothing. Just unplug my headset. I'm so fired up. I ain't shaving nothing lest I want to, because indeed the leaks are real. Now, last night on Reddit, holy crap, Reddit was insane last night. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm going to tell you right now, John Boyega is Jedi Paxis, okay? Now, I can't confirm that, but Jedi Paxis, a.k.a. John Boyega, must have been tweeting and giving all the info from the Star Wars premiere, because, I mean, the crawl leaked, images of Rey with the yellow saber leaked, the last shot of her. Did I say spoilers? Did I say spoilers yet? Because there's some spoilers going on in here. The last shot with Rey and the Twin Sons and BB-8, that leaked. The shots of Palpatine leaked. The whole freaking thing leaked. Okay? So, essentially, to some people out there, their worst fears have been confirmed. And as someone who was on the leaks from the very beginning, and as someone who did not have the most positive reaction to the leaks, you know, those of you that have been following me, those of you that have been watching, it was this thing where I was very certain, you know, behind the scenes and everybody that I was talking to, I was very certain that the leaks were going to be real, right? And I had all these people that were telling me there's no way. And I got the sense, and I think that we're seeing this happen now, I got the sense, which, by the way, guys, could you chop like on the video? Could you chop like on the video? You coming in here, we're talking about spoilers. Some people are freaking out. Star Wars is dead. Disney hates the Rey character. Oh, my goodness, I've seen it all. I've seen it all online. We're going to get into all of it. Where's Anakin? We're going to talk about it. Where's Anakin? Where was George at the premiere? Where was Hayden Christensen at the premiere? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into all of it. Is this the stream where you shave your head? Love it, Trinity. I ain't shaving nothing. You understand? I tried to don't put spoilers in the thumbnail. Shredder. Shredder. If you were in my house and you had your feet kind of propped up and you're all comfortable, I'd slap your feet off of my coffee table and I'd show you to the door. Get out of here. Shredder. Get out of here. because there's no spoilers that the whole freaking world doesn't already know about on the thumbnail. I got a picture of Kylo Ren on the thumbnail. That's a spoiler. You think it's a spoiler because you know that he gone. Ben gets yeeted off the cliff. Ben dies in the film. Ben is not coming back. And I want to say something else, too. And I'm a little all over the place with this right now. But I want to say, we will get into Q&A. So please get those questions ready. We're going to dig deep. But I saw a lot of people, particularly Raylos. Let's talk about the Raylos. So one of the things that I saw about the Raylos, which, by the way, if I was a Raylo, which I am not, I would be very happy with what I have in the leaks. I would be very excited about it because essentially, spoilers, there is a kiss between Kylo Ren and Rey. And that kiss was also added in one of the reshoots. So originally there was going to be nothing there. Nothing. And even though apparently there's some really interesting tension between them in the film, the original version of the ending, did not have that at all. And so they do get this kiss, right? And yet I have seen a multitude of Raylos online saying that they now hate this movie, that they hate this trilogy, and that they're done with Star Wars simply because Ben Solo did not live. He's not going to live through this movie. I think that's crazy to me personally. But I do know that there have been some content creators in the Raylo circles and people out there that have literally been promising you guys. They've been promising you that Kylo Ren will survive this film, or rather that Ben Solo will survive this film. They've been promising you. They promise. And they were wrong. You know what I mean? So I find that really interesting because, right now the narrative online, with the leaks obviously being involved in this, is that this is a horrible movie, right? Despite there being a lot of very, very positive people that reviewed the film, or that are talking about it on social media, there's a lot of people latching onto this idea that there's certain people that aren't liking this film, and the big narrative is that it's kind of an FU to Rian Johnson. That's really what it is, guys. People are, you can dress it up, you can call it whatever. They're the people that are coming very negative towards this movie right now are basically suggesting that there's two main flaws: that it's super convoluted and full of fan service, and that it is a huge FU to Rian Johnson, which a lot of people do not think was required. That this is a redirection that did not need to happen. And, look, it's Star Wars. I get it. We all have a lot of attachment, and we're really invested in these characters and in this universe. And so the narrative online right now is that this is a movie that's going to sort of rip out the hearts of a lot of Star Wars fans. Now, I don't see it that way. Believe it or not, myself, who has been very negative towards the leaks, particularly with some of the changes that have been made to the leaks recently, and the fact that leaks are not the movie, and I know this is a crazy concept to try to grasp, but you're reading from a spreadsheet. Have you ever read a script for television? For movies or anything? Have you ever read a script and then seen the movie? They're totally different experiences. I actually am the most hyped that I have been for the film. Me. I am literally the most hyped that I have been for this movie. And honestly, here's the thing. I actually think that sort of the FU to Ryan, it's probably not as bad as people are saying. I mean, look, we got to see, right? That's one thing we got to see for sure, the context of that. That will come in the form of exposition. So exposition for this movie is likely going to fly right in the face of a lot of the choices that Ryan made. And ironically, you have people out there, and let's just call it what it is, fandom menace people that are saying that, the leaks are real, this movie's garbage, and they're now praising its downfall. It's dead on arrival, Star Wars is dead, and all of these things. And yet it would appear that Disney and Lucasfilm may have made changes to the movie, or at least taken the film in a direction that was supposedly aimed at these people that had problems with The Last Jedi. But as I said before, this could potentially lead to a big problem where you've actually lost those people pretty much completely, and certain people, within the fandom menace are just going to view this movie negatively no matter what, even if it's the dopest movie, which I'm getting a feeling it's going to be really dope. They're just going to hate it no matter what. But strangely, too, some of the people that have really liked The Last Jedi that are stout defenders of that film, and some of those people are just, I'm just going to say it, you're fucking annoying. Like, you're annoying online. Like, you're literally really annoying. But some of those people seem to be really turned off by it as well. And you know what? It struck me as I was thinking about this and we had a great discussion about this in the Gray Order Discord. I saw some people were making some really interesting points about how those same people that basically are in complete acknowledgement, or they have to, if they're reasonable, they have to acknowledge that The Last Jedi was a big departure and a swing away from the Force Awakens. But those people that love The Last Jedi are like, oh, no, that's good. But now it would seem that because the story's swinging back the other direction, they have a big problem with it. And really, when I think about it, I don't think Lucas and Disney made decisions to try to appease the fandom menace, because the fandom menace is a small, super small, such a baby, little small baby group of fans. It really is. When you compare it to the larger group of fans out there that go see these movies all across the world, it's a small minority. They're a small, very vocal group of people. However, and this is something that I've been saying for a long time, there's a large group of perfectly normal, perfectly decent people that also don't like The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was a very meta movie. It was very divisive. It was subverting all the Star Wars tropes. And look, that was a problem. And there's been this argument for the past 2 years, and we can't even like have an agreement anymore. I'm removing this person. Get this guy out of my face. That we can't even necessarily like even come to a common ground anymore and have an understanding of this. And I think that if you're a reasonable person, I do not think that this movie is going to really rock the boat for you. I do not think that this film is as crazy and as divisive as people are talking about. Now, when I try to get a read on this, the way I think about it, where's my wrenches at? Where's my moderators? What are you even talking about? KSI? I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I need some wrenches. Get the KSI spam out of my chat. But when I think about this film, man, I really think that it's going to be a great sense of adventure. I think for most casual Star Wars fans, it's going to be very successful. It's going to be adventurous. I think it will retcon a lot of what came before. One of the big criticisms is that it's very exposition heavy. And I feel like this is a lot of exposition probably coming from Palpatine. And it's probably coming from him explaining that really and truly a lot of what was going on before was him. So, I mean, even at the beginning of the opening crawl starts with, like, the dead speak. And it talks about how there's this transmission that essentially Palpatine has this transmission that comes in. It talks to the whole galaxy. And these people, everybody's aware that, like, the Emperor's coming back, or that the Emperor has made this known to all these different people that's coming. That's really cool to me. I feel like that sets up a beautiful story. A nice sense of adventure. And now Kylo's going to try to, figure that out because he doesn't want a threat to his power. Rey's trying to stop him because that's what you do when you're a Jedi. And the way we all get there. Now, I will say this. Yo, what's up? There's some of my wrenches. What's up, wrenches? Yo, we got to be careful. Al, Tara, I need your help. There are some spammers in the chat. Kill them. Kill them all. But I think that sets up like this beautiful sense of adventure. I think it's going to be really cool. Now, I will say this. My gut tells me that particularly because there is no Anakin in the flesh, and because Rey does indeed sort of just take the identity of the Skywalkers, which is stupid. You know, I'm going to wait to see as much as I can how it's going to hit me, but that's stupid. Excuse me as I adjust my microphone. But that's not going to kill the entire movie for me. And if this movie is awesome and it actually closes up a lot of threads from not only this trilogy but the trilogy's past, and I get an awesome version of Luke that feels familiar to me. Rey and Kylo fight a lot. There's just relentless action, so much Sith and dark side stuff in it. Then, like, look, I will walk out of this movie, and despite the ending being just not what it should have been, like, frankly, look, we gotta wait until we see the movie. I want to see how it hits me. But the idea of calling this the end of the Skywalker saga, if that's really the way they're going to end it, is stupid. So to me, I'll be able to separate those two things, though. I'll be able to be like, okay, well, clearly they just said this to try to save face and to get butts in seats. I would hate it if they doubled down on it and really tried to talk about it and really repeat it in the future. To me, it's just as simple as this. The first phase of Disney Star Wars had a lot of great moments. It had some shaky moments, and they did need to wrap this up. And I think this is a fine ending to just this trilogy, but it's probably not going to work for me as an ending to the Skywalker saga. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm open to being blown away, and perhaps the way that the scene hits me, I will feel that way. I'll be like, oh my gosh, what a perfect end to the Skywalker saga. I highly doubt it. But strangely, I'm actually willing to just let that go. If this is like the dopest Star Wars movie that Disney has done yet, and it works on certain levels, and it helps to just have Star Wars be fun again and be thrilling and have this crazy sense of adventure. I think we're going to have different kind of divisive conversations after this is done. We're going to have a lot of conversations, man. I can't wait to sort of get past it and talk about some of these conversations and get into that. But I am at a point where I'm legitimately excited. I'm not gonna judge it too harshly. I think I'm gonna come out of this movie absolutely loving it. I really do. I think I'm gonna absolutely love this movie, and it sounds like it's gonna be so cool in a movie that I will put on often. You know what I mean? Like right now, my go-tos are like Empire, Return of the Jedi, and Revenge of the Sith. Those are pretty much the Star Wars films that I watch most in rotation. And I got a feeling that Episode 9 is going to be in that discussion. If it really is just all the fan service in the world, I mean, I'm a freaking massive Star Wars fan. All of that stuff is going to tickle my fancy. All of that stuff is going to feel good to me. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But guys, I'm sure you have questions. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to go for like 30 to 40 more minutes. We'll talk about any and everything. So please get your questions in the chat. If you want to guarantee that your question gets answered, drop a super chat. I will answer every single super chat that comes in. And if you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. Drop your questions in the chat. I'll get to as many questions as I can just in this. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get into this, baby. You know what I mean? What a wild ride it has been to the Rise of Skywalkers. Let's see here. Jacob's Quest, Gray Order member, says people on extremes will probably not like it. Normal people in the middle will love it. I tend to agree. We're going to have to wait and see, but yeah, I tend to agree. Who's your favorite character? Isaac Davidson says, it's hard to say my favorite. Like, I'm a big Luke Skywalker person. I love Luke. But also, I really like Kit Fisto. As weird as that is, Kit Fisto's awesome. And I like Kylo Ren a lot. By the way, do me a favor and chop like, people. Chop like. Is Ezra or Ahsoka or Anakin in it? Andrew Russell asks. Okay, so right now, what everyone's saying is that the voice at the very end of the film, it's the voices that revivify Rey, that get her back to life, right? Get revivify her. Now, apparently, the first voice is going to be Anakin, and it reads something like you have to restore balance as I once did. And so that's all the Anakin that's in the film, apparently. And he says something like that, and it's speaking to her, and it's all about restoring balance as he once did. Okay, so that let's start there. How do I feel about that? Not a big fan. I really feel like not putting Hayden Christensen in this movie was a massive mistake. In a couple of different ways. I feel like, okay, maybe you don't need him in that scene as a Force Ghost, but why wouldn't you have him at the very end of the film with Luke and Leia as a Force Ghost on Tatooine? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So as far as Anakin not being in the film, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I'm okay with it, but I haven't seen the movie, right? So I need to see the movie. I need to see how those lines hit me. How impactful do I feel Anakin is? Is Anakin mentioned a lot in the film? Is there a lot of exposition around Anakin? Maybe I'll feel a little bit more comfortable with it if that's true, but no Anakin in the flesh. As far as Ahsoka and Ezra, the big rumor is that Ahsoka will indeed be one of the voices that calls to Rey, that helps her get her energy back. Rumored that it's Ezra Bridger. Now, the problem with the Ezra Bridger thing is a lot of these people that have seen this movie, even now, are not the biggest Star Wars fans. So they don't even know who Ezra Bridger is, right? And so the reason we didn't know that these characters were going to be in the film for a long time is because, well, a lot of the people that have been watching this weren't exactly huge Star Wars fans. They just hear voices. They don't know it's Ezra. There was a guy that said Anakin's voice wasn't even in it, but that's because he's not a Star Wars fan. You know what I mean? He's just some guy. But yeah, so that's pretty much the report on that. And yeah, look, I'm not pumped about the Anakin thing. Okay, so Second Street Marvel did say this before. I kind of read it before, but he said, so is this the stream where you shave your head? Niet. It is not. I can't read this name. Skylights23, maybe? Oh, look, I did read it. Josh, have you seen the Reddit images? # Great Order. I've seen all the Reddit images, man. I've seen all the Reddit images. And I'll be honest with you, they look dope to me. You know, again, this movie took such a weird path. It took such a weird path. And, you know, I was talking to some people today. I was actually talking to Griffin earlier today. Griffin, fellow Grey Order member, actually designed the Grey Order logo. Griffin is a great dude. We were talking about how he's a little iffy on it. He was kind of hoping that the leaks weren't real or whatever. And he was trying to see, like, where he is at with this, right? So my thing is, I've kind of already had my roller coaster of emotion with it. And coming in at a place where I'm like, holy crap, if they do this verbatim for the leaks, I think this is going to be horrible. To then hearing the changes that they made, hearing some of the context, and now legitimately being more excited for the movie than I've been for months. I am peak hype for this film. I'm very freaking excited. And all the stuff I heard about reviews this morning actually encouraged me. Some of the people that I hate their taste hated this movie. I'm into that. I'm into that, dude. That's awesome. Screw them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've seen all the images and they got me hyped. And then let's see here. Brett Maxey says, are you excited about the yellow lightsaber? That's your color. At least hopefully when you see the film, that will be a good moment for you. Yeah, I love yellow lightsabers. People that have been following the channel closely know I'm a fan of yellow lightsabers. I'm looking at my yellow lightsaber right across from me, actually right now on the wall. Yellow is my color. I don't know exactly why she's got a yellow saber, but I love it. I love it. Yellow sabers, mwah, spectacular stuff. Let's see here. The creative one. For some reason, that super chat isn't fully showing up for me. Let's see if we got it over here. Has it crossed anyone's mind that Lucasfilm are going to try to copy the Marvel format and start a Star Wars multiverse? Crazy, but KK is bringing in Kevin Feige, just speculating, but viable at this point. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. I know, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. When I did the video yesterday talking about how Kathy had said that she wasn't the biggest fan or that they're going away from trilogies, I actually was not okay with that. I was like, ooh, I don't like that. I really like trilogies. I like the format. Also kind of felt like a retreat to me. You know, internally, I talked to a lot of different people at the Den of Nerds, and we had different opinions about it. Al Schuler had a very just level-headed take on it, which sort of helped me to wrap my head around it. But you know what I was really surprised by was how many people that watched the video yesterday were like, yeah, screw trilogies. I don't like trilogies. And there were some good points brought up. So we don't need trilogies. And I do agree that in some ways, when you do a trilogy, you can see the beats coming. But Yeah, we don't need trilogies. Are they going to set up a Marvel Star Wars universe? I'm not sure. You know, some people were talking about Bob Iger's comments on the red carpet, where he was talking about the next one being really important, the future of the films, and all of these things. It's hard to say, man. I don't think they have a great idea of what to do next. And I think that if you look at their behavior here, did you guys know? Let me know in chat. Did you know that it was actually Kathy that went to Bob during production of The Rise of Skywalker to essentially say, we need to take a break? So some people say, oh, it's Bob's idea. No, that was Kathy's idea. It's Kathy's idea to take a break. Now, what I think is going on, and a lot of people think this is going on, is that she is setting up the future and she will step down in 2021. I think that they positioned Episode 9 to be a big success. Even if it doesn't make as much as Last Jedi, it's still a hugely successful film. And I think they're going to try to just kind of set this thing attributed to her, for better or worse. Let her have as much of a, off into the sunset moment as possible, because that's what you do when you're a company person. She played ball. They're going to play ball. And then they will set up the new guard and move forward. And I think, like, legit, we're all very interested to see what happens next. And, the LA Times article did point out that it's probably the most difficult task she's had to do thus far is setting up the future for Star Wars. So, really interesting stuff. Steve Denton, Patreon member. No question, just sending a little love. May the Force be with us all. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. And I tell you, look, isn't this going to be weird? How weird is it going to be if all the people that love The Last Jedi turn on The Rise of Skywalker? What's that going to mean? Because, for years, literally years, those people have scoffed at the people that didn't like The Last Jedi. And they treated them as some kind of lepers, and basically were like, yo, you don't like Star Wars if you don't like this movie. Now, obviously, here at the Grey Order, we have more nuance to that. It's not so black and white. It's somewhere in the middle. But won't it be interesting if a lot of those pots end up calling the kettle black, and they're like, yo, I'm out. I don't even like Star Wars anymore. And then there'll be this sort of reverse backlash, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so damn interested. I'm so damn interested to see what happens after this movie comes out. Let's see here. Just joined the live stream, but how hard can it really be to please fans these days? The internet allows fans to literally tell the writers what to put in the films to please them. So, Vegeta-san, that's an interesting point. And actually, I have sort of espoused this belief before, where I don't understand. But for me, I think of it more in a PR situation, where I don't see how they don't know what they need to say in order to not piss people off. Because the PR in the last 3-4 years for Disney Star Wars has been horrible. Horrible, in my opinion. Horrible. So I don't understand why they don't look at the things that us nerds look at and get a measurement of what people would like. But here's the thing. Who's to say they haven't? There's a possibility here that this movie is amazing and filled with all the fan service we want. And yes, it won't be perfect. And yes, I'm upset that Anakin's in it. And yes, I'm upset that Ben Solo dies. But it still might be a dope movie. Like fire. Like one of those things where you're like, you want to show people. You know what I mean? Like, in the same way that, like, Marvel, because there's things that happen in the Marvel movies, in the Marvel universe, that are so incredible that, like, you just want to show people. You want to take you want to bring people into the Marvel clan. And there is something to be said for the success that Marvel has had and how they could possibly replicate that in the Star Wars universe. But, we don't know that they haven't looked at what fans want and put it all in this movie. Disney needs to die? Yeah, Disney ain't going to die, bro. Mighty Joe, Disney just had they will have a $10 billion year. Literally an unprecedented amount of success for a movie studio. They're almost the only studio that seems to have figured out how to monetize big budget blockbuster films in this new age of media. So Disney ain't going nowhere. In fact, Disney Star Wars isn't going anywhere. I mean, technically it's going away for 3 years, and we can hope that it comes back stronger and better than ever, baby. But it ain't going nowhere. Does this mean Doomcock's leaks were right too? If so, I'd prefer to see the George Lucas cut of the film. Jason Davis, look, I don't know for sure, but I would literally bet very valuable personal extremities of mine that the Doomcock report was 1,000% BS. I'm pretty sure that was 1,000% BS. Like the Millennium Falcon blowing up with all the main characters is laughably bad. Laughably bad. The only things that Doomcock got correct were stuff that he regurgitated from Jason Ward, Jedi Paxis, and me. Literally. Those are the only things that he got correct. Now, I know it's interesting because in some of his videos, he's sort of talked a lot about this Rey Skywalker business, which, of course, yes, that is stupid. I can't defend that. Look, maybe when I see it in the movie, it works. I highly doubt it. That's a stupid ending. But that didn't come from him. That didn't come from his sources. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't worry about it. And Anakin, yeah. They could have done better with that. Legit could have done better when it came. Will Palpy coming back be explained? Not really. Not really. It's glazed over. It's glazed over, and I think one of the ideas, and I've sort of talked to you guys about this before, but it's the idea Exegol itself is supposed to evoke such feelings of mystery, such darkness, such craziness, that you're kind of just supposed to buy it. Like, Palpatine's back, just shut up and enjoy the ride, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been, like, joking with my friends and stuff, and we're like, dude, I can't wait to see that Palpatine movie. Woo! This Palpatine movie is going to be great. Palpatine's the most interesting aspect of it, and I think that it's going to be dripping wet with great lines from the Senate, man. Prequel memes is going to go crazy. Prequel memes is going to have a freaking field day with this. They've got all new meme formats. Every line that the Senate says in this movie is going to show up on prequel memes, I promise you. I guess saying I told you so is more important than preserving the movie experience anymore. That is just beautiful. Flick Brick, I don't understand what you're talking about, dude. And you're starting to piss me off. You were my brother, Anakin. I'm ready for the Sith lore, though. At least what seems to be coming from it. Hell to the yes. The Sith lore is going to be awesome. And maybe, hopefully, after the fan base reacts very positively to the Sith stuff that's in this movie, because look, you can like some things in the movie, you can not like some things in the movie. Ultimately, where you land on the movie is your decision. It's your choice. I would say if you've already made up your mind about the movie, you're an idiot. Either way. Whether you've already made up your mind that you're going to love it or whether you already made up your mind that you're going to hate it, you're an idiot. That's fine. But you got to let the movie hit you. You know what I mean? Like, you really do have to let the movie hit you. This Kathleen chick needs to get fired. Kathleen will probably step down. I think the way that most people say it, and you're sort of reading between the lines of the interviews that she's done over the past couple of months, I think it's pretty clear that she's going to step down. And I think she's setting up the legacy squad, the new squad. And look, we can just hope that it's going to be better. And, you know, even people that really hate The Last Jedi, there's great stuff in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi has some great moments, some great stuff. I like the film. I kind of wish it didn't exist, but I like the movie. But I'm actually looking forward to sort of recontextualizing that movie with a lot of the stuff that is apparently in The Rise of Skywalker. Like, I'm not one of these people, like, I like the movie, but I'm not one of these people that's like, oh my goodness, if they disrespect Rian Johnson in Star Wars Episode 9, I am done with Star Wars. How could they do that? Like, I don't care. I don't care. In the same way that Ryan kind of shooed away a lot of JJ stuff, I expect JJ to shoo away a lot of Ryan stuff. And I don't care. I don't care. I think that, in my opinion, the leaks are okay, I guess, but would have preferred what you guys reported a couple of days ago. I don't understand what you mean. What we reported a couple of days ago is in the movie. If you're talking about Ben, look, okay, let's just get really spoilery about this, okay? What happens is Ben goes off the cliff. He climbs out of the cliff. He brings Rey back to life. He gives her a smooch, which apparently is kind of awkward. I really hope I buy it in the film. But he gives her a smooch, a nice little Reylo kiss. You know. Oh, my God. I just tickled my mustache on that. A nice little Reylo kiss, and then he disappears forever. That's according to someone that saw the film. Maybe he just drops dead, whatever. But he disappears. And so the thing that's weird for me is if he disappears, why the hell isn't he with them at the end at the Skywalker homestead? It's like, your homie gets no love. You know what I mean? He's the most interesting character in the whole trilogy, and homie gets no love. Like, he's going to bring her back to life. That's dope. That's a win. That's a lot of power. Nobody's ever done that in Star Wars before. That's insane. He's Star Wars Jesus in some ways. You know what I mean? He's doing what his grandfather started. You know what I mean? He's doing a lot of cool stuff. However, he then gets one kiss, and he's out, dude. Bye-bye. And, you know, a lot of the people, the Reylos and stuff that are saying, oh, well, this still sucks because Rey's going to end up alone on Tatooine. Alone. Homegirl doesn't get a happy ending. Well, guys, I'm sorry. We were telling you this since The Last Jedi. It's not a Star Wars thing that Kylo gets to redeem himself and stay alive. That just doesn't make any sense. There's no precedence for that in Star Wars. And everybody was like, no, it's going to happen. It's going to be different this time. Ben Solo will survive the trilogy. And he and Rey will buy an apartment complex in Mos Eisley that will be very profitable in monthly cash flow. And they'll change the local economy. No! He dies! But I'm still not crazy about it. I wish he would get a little more love. Or at least after he died, I would have loved if his Force ghost was hanging out with Luke and Leia. Why isn't he in that scene? You know what I mean? Some of this doesn't make any sense. Oh, man. Star Wars Santa. Guys, if you don't know about Star Wars Santa, then you don't know anything. Seriously. Seriously, if you don't know who Star Wars Santa is, what's your problem? Santa? Star Wars? Amazing. Star Wars Santa says, is there any chance that Disney Plus will give us an animated series following the adventures of Luke Skywalker that takes place between The Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens? Yeah, it's totally possible. It's totally possible, Star Wars Santa. In fact, I wrote that on a wish list, and I mailed it to the North Pole. So maybe when you get that letter, you can work a little magic for us and make that shit happen, because that sounds awesome. Let's see here. We got another super chat in here from Dan the Man, and I can't get to it. Oh, my God. Why are you so stupid, YouTube? Can anybody see what Dan the Man's super chat was? Because I can't get to it. Oh, wait, here we go. Are MacD and Ahsoka speaking to Rey from the crib? Ahsoka is. But I don't know who MacD is. MacD? Who are you talking about? Who you talking about, man? What you talking about, bro? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, I don't know. He now lives inside her. That would actually be cool. So Theon 619P says she now lives inside her. That's actually a theory that a lot of people are talking about. That's another thing. I'm very excited to talk about this because I'll just tell you right now, what I think they might do is Rey was impregnated by Kylo Ren during the kiss. There was some cosmic force stuff that happened, and Rey is now pregnant with twins. And you know what? Honestly, even though that's like kind of ridiculous, the thought of young people growing up thinking they're Skywalkers when they're actually Palpatines is actually kind of intriguing to me. That could actually take us in a very interesting direction if we get to this place where, you know, that down the line, they're like, oh, we're Skywalkers. And then all this dark thing happens. It's like, you're not Skywalkers at all. You're related to the Palpatines. And then they're like, oh, no. And then they turn to the dark side. That could be cool. Could Kylo be alive inside her, sort of like Ghost, right? Like Roman Polanski's Ghost. Wouldn't that be something? But it ain't in this movie. Those would be some strong babies for real. Michael Freeman, Paxos leaks are fake. No, they're not. What do I think about Palp's new look? I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, Mace Windu, fam. Okay, that's cool, Dan. I do believe that Mace is speaking to her, but who knows from where. Yeah, I think Mace's line's in there, but I'm not 100%. Ben alive. Redemption by social service, whatever, not death. Yeah, Ben dies. Sorry. Just hearing your Reylo twin theory gives me a headache. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This is going to be really fun. By the way, if you're liking this stream, Thursday after the film at midnight, Thursday, I'm going to be going live, and we're going to be doing spoilers again, but like after I actually see the movie. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the spoilers. We're going to kind of rate it, talk about what I like, talk about what I didn't like. Yo, the stream on Thursday night is going to be lit, fam. That's going to be lit because I'm hitting the bar after Star Wars. I'm going to be on one. I'm going to let you guys know how I really feel. Dial it up. Dial it up to 11 on Thursday. It's going to be really fun. If I wasn't already blacklisted by Disney, I will likely be there or be blacklisted after Thursday. Stream Thursday, same time as Star Wars Theory. I don't know when Star Wars Theory is streaming, man. I only know what I'm doing. I only know what I'm doing. Q needs to kill everyone in this film. I live a block from the theater. Gonna be wasted and forget most of the movie. Hey, maybe if you just forget the very end of the movie, you'll wake up the next day and be like, this was the greatest film of all time. Do I regret knowing the leaks? Not at all. Not at all. And I also think this is a very different situation than Game of Thrones Season 8. So the thing about Game of Thrones Season 8 was basically we were like, okay, this ending is ass. And also all the episodes leading up to it were not that great. And so we knew where the ending was coming. We knew it where it was going. And then everything leading up to it was just felt forced and stupid and just... You know, I was really trying. I was really trying to give the show the benefit of the doubt. And then the very end of Game of Thrones Season 8 was so horrible. It's not just that Bran's king. It's all the stupid shit that everybody says at that big old meeting. What a horrible scene. It's like they were like, how about we film the worst scene of the show as a big, big part of the ending? It was like stupid as hell. And so what I think is going to happen in The Rise of Skywalker is going to be different because, yes, the end is stupid. However, a lot of the stuff that will get us there is going to be dope. And it's going to just be Star Wars flavor, man, sprinkled throughout. I think it's going to be amazing. And I hope that it's going to be so good that we all walk away and being like, okay, maybe that ending, maybe not the coolest, but I got to say that was a really fun movie. I think that's a win. You know what I mean? I think that's a win. Kylo should have lived. I agree. Tipsy Thursday sounds fun. Yo, it's going to be very, very fun. Rey being alone again, so much for hope. Look, I'm not trying to be rude, but cry me a river, dude. Cry me a river. At least she's alive. At least she's alive. At least she didn't suck the green alien titty milk. You know what I mean? Just take the L. I'm not trying to be rude, guys. I'm really not. But I mean, that's ridiculous. So much for hope. What did you think they were going to build a nice little condominium complex? You know? Do you think they were going to pick out vacation spots? Find a nice school district somewhere in the core worlds? Jesus. Expectation did have a lot to do with the misgivings of this trilogy. Whew. What would have been my ideal ending? Here's the thing, Annie Watson. I don't think this movie is bad if it was just the ending to this trilogy. I actually think it's kind of cool. But that's the fact that they label it and call it the end of the Skywalker saga. You didn't need to do that. That's where the ending is going to fall flat. And that's where Rey taking the name Skywalker is going to fall flat. Even though there will be a lot of effort to get you to feel that surrogate parent relationship with Rey and the Skywalkers, you just don't need that to happen. I think the movie ending the exact way that it does, and the person asks her at the end, Rey who? And she says, like, you know, Rey Solo or Rey Nunya. None of your damn business. Like, cut the person's head off or something. Sorry, someone broke my mic. Something like that would have been perfectly fine. That idea that you need to sort of meta wrap everything up and that's the idea of the Rise of Skywalker and all that stuff, that's so stupid. I'm sorry, it just is. It's stupid. Again, not enough to destroy the film, though, in my opinion. So how would I have ended it? Just don't call it the end of the Skywalker saga. You didn't need to do that. And we're all just going to ignore that part anyway. I had a theory a while ago that would resolve Rey, Kylo, Anakin's arc, where Rey and Kylo would merge together and become Anakin. Whoa. That'd be pretty crazy. Yo, that would be pretty nuts. That would be pretty nuts. What do I think of Reylo? I think the tension between Kylo Ren and Rey is one of the most interesting aspects of the sequel trilogy. I was immediately drawn to it. I think the Reylo theory after the Force Awakens was really interesting. I thought the way they tackled that relationship in The Last Jedi was the best part of the film. However, the Reylos themselves, that community, I gotta try not to incur a wrath here. Let's just say not my favorite community of people. Filled with people that suck. That's the best, most positive way I can say it. What are my feelings on Reylo? It's okay. It's all right. The Reylos themselves, that's about all I can say. Gonna laugh when Rey gets crushed by a rock. You know, honestly, though, that part of it is actually kind of awesome. The fact that she dies killing Palps, I think is great. I think that's wonderful. I think that actually makes a lot of sense. It's a sacrifice. That she doesn't just get to do it and live, and then it makes Ben's sacrifice all the more cool. I actually really like that part. That part is cool. Girls with sabers are awesome Reylos, Josh. Yes, they are. I do enjoy me some girls with sabers. They're good people. But by the way, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Let's just say the girls with sabers and I have agreed on some of the things that the Reylos have done and how absolutely ridiculous it is. Is Palps really back, or is it something out of the dark side, or Smoth not? Something out. I think that's what you mean. Something, right? Brother, I think it's Palps, man. I think it's Palps. I really do. Now, I think that you could potentially, the way that I see it all going down, you could potentially say that maybe it's not Palpatine, it's a clone or something weird. But I really do believe that you're meant to believe that it's actually Palpatine. And I think that brings a lot of the craziness of the film, is the fact that it's really Palpatine. Look, Reylos, don't get mad. Don't get mad. I saw some of you being like, we don't suck. No, not all of you suck. A lot of you are awesome. In fact, the majority of you are awesome. But there's a few of you that do suck. And a few of you that suck have been really loud in your sucking. That's all I mean. Josh, stop. I love Reylo. They def suck. They don't all suck. Come on. Why is Try considered the Mary Sue? She's an awesome character. Why is Rey considered a Mary Sue, you mean? Look, Rey is not a Mary Sue. You know, that whole thing with the Mary Sue thing has gotten blown way out of proportion. But I think the more reasonable way to say it is that they treated the Rey character with kid gloves. She doesn't have the same failures that the Mandalorian has, that Luke Skywalker has, that Ahsoka Tano had. And by the way, this ain't rocket science. Most protagonists start out in a place that we get to see them grow from. They have struggles. There's a thing in their life that's really bad. Things are not going great. They fail over and over again. And then at a key moment in their story, they find the resolve, they find the wherewithal, and then they triumph. Rey doesn't really have that arc. They sort of treated her with a lot of kid gloves. So Rey's not a Mary Sue. It's just Disney did a disservice to that character in their writing. They didn't think about what they could do. And by the way, a lot of this is supposedly corrected in this film. In The Rise of Skywalker, Rey takes some serious L's, and we really are going to feel for her. But those beats are a little late. Those beats needed to happen before. Do you know what I mean? Because Luke in Return of the Jedi is a fully formed character. After literally getting his arm hacked off by his own dad, way before he was ready to face him, his whole world gets shattered. And we see him again, and he's completely put together. Do you know what I mean? He's the Luke Skywalker we know and love. That arc didn't happen for Rey, and that's a shame. But she's not a Mary Sue. Do you know what I mean? That's just some stupid internet shit to say. That's just something that all the cronies feel cool about perpetuating over and over again. And do you, boo-boo, that's fine. But she's not a Mary Sue. She's just not a great character. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Let's see here. We got a super chat coming in from Rachel Duncan. Am fine with Reylo. Just hate when the fans use it to bash Finn and Poe. I always liked the Rey is the reincarnation of Anakin theory, but I know people thought it was lame. So Rachel brings up a really good point. One of the reasons that I think the Reylos suck, and some of them, right? Let's disclaimer, lawyery, get it all out of the way, blah, blah, blah. You know, don't be all butthurt. One of the reasons is because they were so vocally aggressive towards people that shipped different things than them, which to me is just like insanity. First of all you people, in my opinion, are all in one group that likes shipping. Not everybody likes shipping. And yet the Reylos were like, no, our ship is the only real ship. If you ship Rey with anybody, you're wrong. All these other ships are wrong. And it's like, what the hell is that? That's toxicity. So, yeah, you bring up a really good point, Rachel. I think, by the way, that would be a cool theory, that Rey is a reincarnated Anakin. And here's the thing. The first video I ever did on this channel was literally saying Rey is Anakin. Or Rey is Darth Vader. Look it up. Very first video I ever did. So, I'm with you. Let's see here. Nope, Palpatine is still alive. Kylo death will mean nothing. I don't know. That's yet to be determined. I ask again. There's absolutely no chance of Kylo actually surviving this. He is the most interesting character of the sequel trilogy. Sophia, I'm sorry to have to report to you that Ben Solo is gone. Sorry. I didn't write it. But I did tell you about 3 years ago that he was probably going to die, as did many other Star Wars fans. Moving on. I always liked the theory that Palpatine created Rey using Anakin's DNA. That's kind of cool. Maybe we could see something like that. The Skywalker saga ends without a single... Hang on, that's interesting. The Skywalker saga ends without a single Skywalker alive. Ironic. Palps must be laughing from the grave. Oh, wait, is he, though? Episode 10. Palps not really dead, you fools! I think Palps dead. I think bringing Palpatine back like this is sort of a one-time use only. I don't think you can do this again. In fact, I'll freak out if they do it again. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's see. Anybody got any more questions? This has been fun. How many people have we upset with this stream? Where are we at right now? Okay, yeah, so I'll go for about 5 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to get out of here. Look, again, I'm very excited about this movie. In fact, I'm more excited than I've ever been about this movie. I got a good feeling, baby. I got a really good feeling. And Thursday night, come back at midnight. I can't wait to talk spoilers with all of you guys again. It's going to be very fun. Oh, Alex, you're too late, man. Alex, executive producer Alex is in the house. Look, all your stuff gets hidden, Mighty Joe. Like, I appreciate the effort, bro, but you would think after like 6 times. All right. All right. I'm going to need one of the mods to kick Mighty Joe right in his big gorilla butt. Sorry, Mighty Joe. You're a good gorilla, but you're a bad YouTube person. Trevor Brightly says, Josh, what up? Can I go over the spoilers again? What do you mean, go over the spoilers again? We've been talking about spoilers for like 5 months, dude. What do I think of Finn's treatment? Finn had an incredible arc in the first movie. His arc in The Last Jedi is literally the same arc. I think if anybody has a right to be upset with Rian Johnson and upset with The Last Jedi, it's Finn or John Boyega. I know there's going to be a lot of effort to correct those things, but honestly, like, look, when we look back at The Last Jedi, and I don't want to be one of those guys that like looks back at The Last Jedi and we're going to just go over all of the hate and anger that we had about it again, right? But like, honestly, why wasn't Finn and Poe together? Those guys are on fire together on camera. Those two were one of the most, they're electric together. You want to know why so many people ship those two characters together? And I do think that the shipping them together is a little silly, but I can at least see it because they got freaking chemistry. They're on fire together. Why did he take Rose to Canto Bight? Why did Rian Johnson think it was a great idea to take Rose? That was a horrible idea. Finn and Poe should have been together. So what do I think about Finn? I think he was dealt a raw deal with episode 8. You know, this is... Oh, man. You know, you guys think I'm really going off here. There's stuff even here that I'm not saying that I want to say, but I know would get taken the wrong way. Josh, thank you for making this journey to the Rise of Skywalker so fun, level-headed, and excited for those of us fans who just love Star Wars. Thank you, Nessa. Thank you. Because through it all, man, I've gotten a lot of hate. I've gotten a lot of love. We're almost there. We're almost there. The supposed new trilogy, what do you mean? Like Finn, Poe, and Rey as a or the trio, is that what you mean? I think they're cool. Get those trimmers ready. Why? The leaks are completely confirmed. I don't need to trim nothing. I don't need to trim nothing. Are you cool with Palpatine being the chosen one and carrying on the Skywalker name? Totally. Palpatine should be the only Skywalker left. That would be awesome. Stop shipping. I'm not shipping. Rey is objectively 2% Mary Sue. I'll take it. You know, she's like 2% milk, 2% Mary Sue. Oh, man. Does the Falcon get destroyed? Nope. This will not go the way you think, Smith the Son. Actually, it will go exactly the way I think. Yeah, I think we're going to call it there, guys. I'm glad that I don't have to shave my head. I never thought I was going to shave my head. In fact, I positioned myself in a place where if I had to shave my head, I still would have been pumped because it would have meant that the leaks would have been completely wrong. Now, even though I just told you guys I'm actually more excited than ever, I still would prefer maybe being surprised. I'd prefer way more Anakin. I prefer way more Luke. So at the end of the day, if the leaks had been completely wrong, I actually would have been okay with it. I would have shaved my head with a smile on my face. Unless the movie would have sucked, right? If the leaks were wrong and the movie was horrible and I had to shave my head, I'd feel pretty freaking lousy. But nothing like that happened. My hairline is receding anyway. It's actually not receding, but I have the worst widow's peak you've ever seen. I actually have the thickest hair that will never go away. They tell me this hair could survive a nuclear explosion. But I do have an incredible widow's peak, I'll tell you that. How the heck is Rey a Palpatine? It's pretty simple. Palpatine was getting it on with a bunch of people around the galaxy. He's flying around in this pleasure boat, probably potentially, I mean, I don't want to go there, but maybe doing some things that aren't so kind to get people to fall in love with them. And basically, Palpatine was getting it in. Palpatine was getting it in. And Rey is the grandchild of one of the offspring of Palpatine. No, you're not getting that kiss, wandering dog. Relax. Aw, Corey Tyler, this dude is a clown. Aw, bro. You think I'm a clown? You're banned forever! Watch your flappy gums. This is my house. Man, you gone forever. I hope you make another account and bring it in because I'm going to roast your ass too. Feeling better or worse after the Rise of Skywalker first reactions? I feel incredible after the Rise of Skywalker first reactions. I think it's going to be awesome. You chat. Oh, this is going to be a good one. You chastise Disney, specifically JJ, for not properly handling social media, yet you put, the leaks were confirmed. Let's talk about it. When you could have titled it, were the leaks confirmed? Let's talk about it. Bro, I'm so over that kind of shit. Burger King, everybody on the planet that's hanging out in the internet circles, you think I broadcast this channel to every single human being on the planet? No way, bro. The only people that even see my thumbnails are people that are super hardcore into Star Wars. And most of those people, 1000%, know that the leaks were real at this point. And the only thing that's on the thumbnail is Ben Solo, and it says that the leaks were confirmed. So I'm like super over people saying that somehow and thanks for your $20 too, you freaking idiot. Woo! I'm feeling it. If you think this is good, wait till Thursday. We're going to have a blast. Okay, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Much love to all of you amazing people. We're gonna get on it, man. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna review Mandalorian, and that might be the only video for tomorrow. And then after that, we are gonna talk some Rise of Skywalker Thursday night at midnight. There probably will not be a video Thursday until midnight. It's gonna be really fun. And then after that, we're doing some crazy videos after that. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.